Welcome to Health, Wellbeing and Lifestyle, and for our first guest today we have Sean Connell, who's a lymphologist, and today he's talking about the lymphatic system. Welcome, Sean.
Thank you.
Can you explain a bit more about that? I'm sure it's very confusing for people in lymphatic system.
Very confusing. So the lymphatic system is actually the purification system of the body. So it'll remove the dead cells, toxins, poisons out of the body. So we have the bloodstream that will bring the oxygen nutrition in, that feeds it to our cells. So we're made of up to 100 trillion cells. So if you're healthy, the cell is healthy. So the oxygen nutrition comes in from the bloodstream, and the lymphatic system will take away all the dead cells, toxins and poisons. We have up to 200,000 kilometres of lymphatic vessels in the body. So that's actually around the world 3 times. So we have 3 times more lymphatics than we do have blood vessels. So everywhere we have blood vessels, we have the lymphatic system running side by side, but the lymphatic systems all go up between the cells, and that'll pull all the dead cells, toxins and poisons into the lymphatic system. Then it'll pump it through the lymph nodes. So we have up to 1,000 lymph nodes through the body. So they act like a water filter. So they are filtering the dead cells, toxins and poisons. If a lymph node swells up, it's just overloaded. It's just got too much toxins and poisons in there. So what that'll do is actually just pass it on to the next lymph node, purify as much as possible, pass it on to the next lymph node, and just keep sending those dead cells, toxins, poisons around our body through the lymph nodes until all those toxins are back to pure water. So when that's back to pure water, the lymphatic system will actually pump that water back into our bloodstream through the Sacrovian vein at the base of the neck here, because our bloodstream is 91% water. And this is where the inflammation actually comes from. When we have inflammation in the body, it's come from the blood vessels, and it's just built up too much too quickly that the lymphatic system can't remove that out. And you can hold up to 50 kilos of inflammation in the body. So most people have weight issues. It's mainly inflammation being held in the body.
So then why is it important to keep our lymphatic system flowing in that way?
Everyone is required to get 30 minutes of aerobic exercise every day just to keep the lymphatic system moving. Okay, so as we get older, obviously we're not as active, and that's when inflammation starts to build up, creating lack of oxygen, and that's when things start to break down because we're lacking the oxygen and nutrition getting to the cell.
Okay, and so to keep the walking up, and also to maybe to have various services, or I know there's some amazing new technologies around for helping with the lymphatic system, is that right?
That's right, yeah. The healing of the 21st century will be energy. So energy is one of the ways to activate the lymphatic system. So there's only 4 ways to activate the lymphatic system, and energy is one of those.
And what are the other 3 ways then?
Deep breathing, so that's the aerobic exercise every day. Deep breathing, bouncing, so that's why kids jump on the bed. I actually teach people how to use a mini trampoline as part of our sessions. So bouncing and stroking, so that's where energy, massage and those sorts of things come in as well.
And Sean, thank you so much for the information you've shared. What would be your best advice for our viewers as a takeaway today?
We are required to get 30 minutes of aerobic exercise every day. So there's 4 ways to activate our lymphatic system. So deep breathing, bouncing, stroking and energy. So activating all those 4 ways will keep us healthy and happy. There's a lot of technology out there now that can really activate the lymphatic system and get that moving and help remove that inflammation, because we all know inflammation is the cause of all problems happening in the body because that's creating lack of oxygen. So we need to increase that oxygen getting to the cells so the body can regenerate, heal and do what it's supposed to.
And so with those 4 ways that you're talking about, can you just give us a bit more detail of each one?
So deep breathing, there's a lot of shallow breathing out there unfortunately at the moment, so that's why exercise is so important, and going for walks and get that oxygen moving, which Oxygen, deep breathing activates the lymphatic system. Stroking, so we have massage, we have the dry brushing, we have those sort of techniques out there that help people. Bouncing, so that's why kids love bouncing on the bed, because they know it's good for them, and they love trampolines, and we actually educate people on how to use the mini trampoline and get the full benefits out of that. And there's energy as well, so there's so many energy techniques coming out that healing of the 21st century will be using energy.
Right. Is that with technologies, as you were saying before? That's using technology to trigger the energy, and how does it work?
Well, it activates the lymphatic system. We're actually an energy being, so when you break it down, we're more electrical than mechanical. So energy, we're electrical. So energy, frequencies, all those things will help the body.
Thanks so much for that, Sean. And I know we'll be talking about that more in some further interviews. Thanks. So for now, we'll say bye-bye to you. And for more information on Sean Connell and the lymphatic system, then please go to his webpage on our website, healthwellbeingandlifestyle.com.au, and we'll see you back after the break. Stay tuned. After the break, holistic coach Steve Hall is talking about our relationship with fear. Welcome back, and today we have Steve Hall back with us, our holistic coach, and part of the series in Living a Life of Value and Meaning. Today's topic is our relationship with fear. So welcome back, Steve.
Thank you, Linda, and thanks for the introduction.
Our relationship with fear.
I know, right? A lot of people don't like fear, and I can well understand that. But we've been talking about how to love yourself more, how to connect with your values and your purpose in life. And fear is an important part of that, because people want to do things, they want to improve their life, they want to get better at what they're doing, and then they find something stopping them. And it's quite often the relationship with fear. So I thought it's worthwhile to explore that a little bit and find out what is our relationship with fear and how does that impact us.
With that in mind, how do we create a better relationship with fear?
I'll share a little bit about what I imagine in my own mind when I'm thinking about fear and when I'm realizing the effect it's having on me, right? So I imagine my emotions. I like listening to them now, something that I learned along the way in my life. It's like, listen to your emotions, what they're telling you. Don't ignore them or try and push them away. So I imagine in my own mind, when I've got a dilemma or something, or I've got an emotion expressing itself, I imagine there's a boardroom, like a boardroom table in my mind with a chairman and all that, and the emotions are sitting at the table. And the emotion that is quite often the loudest is fear. And one thing that I've understood about fear, it's sort of like fear has anxiety itself. And the less my self-belief is turning up, the less self-belief I have in myself, the noisier my fear gets. So it's like my fear is present when I'm not, and learning who I am, what I value, and taking control of my life and responsibility is what has the most effect on fear. It's sort of like my fear calms down, and then it becomes just more like a warning, like a pet dog. I often find, my fear is a lot like a pet dog. It'll bark at something if it gets scared, right? And my job, if my self-belief is big enough, if I'm there, if I'm present, my job is, what's up, boy? Acknowledge that it's spoken and give it a pat and go, it's all right, I got this, I'm here. And it'll go, oh, thanks, you've noticed, you've listened to me, and it'll sit down. And that's what fear's like for me. It's like I've recreated what it means. It no longer controls me. I'm not scared of fear myself, because I realize now it's just trying to get my attention so I can be aware of something. And that's the relationship with fear that we all need to understand, so we can build our self-belief, and then we can achieve what it is we really want to achieve in our life. The things that we love, our mission, our values, our purpose, all of that is possible if fear is coming along for the ride and not calling the shots.
How would it tie in with that? How would we break free, really, of that fear that's...
See, fear is ever present, and it's meant to be. It's quite a useful emotion. It's not something that we need to overcome or overpower. A lot of our life, that's our first thing that we want to do with fear, is we want to stop it. We want to push it down, push it away, get away from it, distract ourselves. And this is what we find when we try and pursue what we love. We'll get distracted and we'll find that we can't achieve it. And people will say, why am I procrastinating? Well, fear can often be the cause. You know, fear gets too strong and we're not listening to it. We're trying to suppress it. So it's very important we get a good relationship, not just with fear, with all our emotions, but fear is a really important one to start with because it's the one that's loudest. It wants reassurance most. So we have to give that reassurance to ourselves. Take a deep breath. We've talked about breathing before.
Oh, wonderful.
Deep breath, and it'll send a signal to ourselves and our emotions, I'm okay, I've got this. And then you can have that conversation with your emotions, fear being one of them.
So for our viewers, what would be the best advice from today with their fears?
It would be the breathing technique to start with and start reflecting on what do I really want here and what's really worrying me. So you take a deep breath in and you listen to what fear's expressing to you. What are you really worried about? If you write it down, is a good way. Just get to the point. What is that thing that I'm worried about? Because whatever the fear is telling us, we try and attach to everything and we start worrying about way too much. But when you write it down, you have to become quite specific and you'll find that this might only be one thing and it stops it bouncing around and like a snowball getting bigger and bigger as it rolls downhill, and you can't go to sleep at night, you know, it keeps you awake. So writing it down, becoming quite specific with what it is, and you go, actually, that's a little bit, you know, a bit, it's good. Now I can focus on that. You know, I'm not getting distracted, I'm not catastrophizing it, it's not getting out of control. Yeah, okay. And then you can sort of speak to your emotion. I've got this. Yeah, no, I can do that, and I want to do this, whatever it is. Like it might be giving a talk in front of people. I want to do this. And then your fear will just, it'll settle down. It'll still be there, but you'll have a good relationship with it. You just go, what am I really worried about? And if I have to write down, I'm nervous about what people will think when I'm talking to them, I'll see how that's nothing to get over dramatic about. It's not the end of life, you know, the sky's not going to fall in. And that puts it in context for me. And I go, I've got this. Yeah, no, it's all right. And I reassure myself. And then I go, this is something I want. And honestly, the whole feeling changes. And I've really developed this technique to a point where I don't really worry about that sort of stuff anymore. So that's what it's all about. And it's connecting us with our values, what we love in life, and accepting all our emotions. It's really good.
Thanks so much, Steve. And for more from Steve and living a life of value and meaning, and specifically your relationship with fear, then please go to his webpage on our website, healthwellbeingandlifestyle.com.au. And after the break, we'll be back with another guest and another topic.
Stay tuned. After the break, health and wellness expert Dr Zara Celik is talking about Turkish hamam ritual.
And for our next guest, we have Dr Zara Celik back with us, our integrative health and wellness expert. And today she's talking to us about hammam ritual. So welcome, Dr Zara.
Thank you.
And what is a hammam?
Great question. So a lot of people, I'm sure our viewers will be wondering, what is a hammam? Because quite frankly, it's, you know, we don't have it in Australia, right? Or it's not common in Australia, but very common in Middle East and Europe. It goes back to the 7th century, and it is typically a space that is designed for a bath house. It's like a bath house, just to make it simple for our viewers. So it is designed, usually it has a very high ceilings. It's a dome shaped, and you can literally see the sky. That's a typical traditional design. Now, of course, we're not going to get that in Australia, but what is also part of a hammam is when you step into a hammam, it is heated floor. It is all heated throughout. It has a beautiful marble that's also heated, and it's an amazing slab where people can lie down or sit on it to experience the ritual and the benefits of the ritual. And of course, there's also steam and lots of water for purification, for grounding, for relaxation, and also for cleansing. So that water element, the whole copper and the marble and amazing, beautiful dome ceilings is what really makes the hammam special. And the most important is the hammam ritual itself, which is just divine. It has numerous benefits on the mind. It has numerous benefits on the nervous system, on the physical body, to bring the body to calm, to ease. It is nurturing, it is healing, it is purifying, detoxifying, rejuvenating ancient ritual, which goes back to 7th century. So there's a lot of wisdom in this ritual. And the nurturing component is what makes it very special. That is lacking in our modern world. Nurturing is lacking, unfortunately. So people love to be nurtured. They want to go back to the ancient time and experience what those people experienced. With the body, though, there is the exfoliation, which people also loves. It has benefits, as I said, on the physical body. It's on the skin. So there is a kesa glove that is used, which is only used in hammam rituals, which again makes it unique, to remove the dead skin, to get that dead layers of the skin off, where skin's able to breathe, detox efficiently. And with that, there is a technique, there is a rhythm, and it's done in a methodical way. When the dead skin's coming off, there's a lot of blood circulation that is coming to the skin surface. While that dead layers of skins are rolling off like little mini spaghettis, there's lots of blood circulation. And what is blood circulation? It's, collagen stimulation, elastin stimulation, hyaluronic acid boosting. And then the skin is glowing, it is lush, it is smooth, it's healthy, because that dead layers just come off, and it is breathing and it is detoxifying naturally. So the skin's glowing, that's a beautiful benefit on the skin. But also, as you're lying down on that marble bench, Linda, the muscles are relaxed, the joints are relaxed, the mind just drifts off. It's completely still. You're not thinking about the modern life. And that's, again, what makes it beautiful. And that's what also it is mostly now sought by many people in the modern life. They want to really bring calm to the mind because it's overworking, it's overfiring. There's a lot of stress. So people love it for that because it really gives a pause to the mind to be still, to be at that very moment, to connect with self while being nurtured. So that's beautiful. But the muscles are relaxed. The body is completely relaxed. So it helps with aches and pains. That's also is another reason people seek out the hammam rituals. There's also the brides, they get ready. There's beautiful rituals around getting a bride ready. It's cleansing, purifying, detoxifying, and getting her to connect with the inner self to be ready for that. So there's so much behind that. It's not just a physical level. I want to also point that out as well. There is mother and baby ritual. There is a pregnancy ritual. It is so diverse. It is so beautiful. And, there's that ancient wisdom behind that. Clearly, if they practice that for such a long time, for many, many centuries, there has to be something to it. And that's what people are wanting to experience day to day. And one thing that is my favorite in the hammam ritual is that luxurious, silky, gliding, beautiful soap bubble massage. It's poured all over the body with a beautiful cloth. The whole body is just covered with that beautiful soap bubbles and just massage through. That is my favorite.
And for our viewers out there, how often can people have them, and is it for all ages?
Yeah, sure. With my girls, for example, they started when they were a week old. Now it is done a little bit different. So they were more in a beautiful copper ball and literally just swimming in that lots of water. And then they're usually hand exfoliated instead of using a Kesa glove. As they grow, then there's a beautiful silk one that we use. Any age group can go in and benefit amazing nurturing rituals. As I said, it is all about nurturing. It is all about cleansing, purifying. But with babies, of course, it's about nurturing, and they love that. They need that, right? So anyone can do it. As I said, my girls started when they were little. There is no age limit, and there is no time limit. You can experience it as long as you want. But I know with the modern life, people don't put time aside for themselves. And with that, I say, if you can do it once a month, brilliant. But traditionally, it is done every week.
Thank you for that, Zara.
My pleasure, Linda.
And for more information on Dr. Zara Celik and the hammam ritual, then please go to her webpage on our website, healthwellbeingandlifestyle.com.au, and we'll say bye-bye until next week.
If you'd like to know more about our show, please like our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel.